Hi, this is April with Reprogram Yourself, and I am checking in today for another Wavelength Wednesday. So this series is more about observations and personal things in life as opposed to practice-specific things. So what I think would drive a lot of value is talking about my time in Alaska. So as some of you who know me well know, I was in Alaska at the end of the year. And during that time, I was there to help my ex-husband transition over to the next, whatever that might be. And it was difficult, to say the least. But I feel like I need to talk about it because it was very profound. And not only is it an honor helping somebody transition from this life into the next, there are a lot of things that you can learn from death, learn about life from death. And one of the main things, my ex-husband, his name's Dan, Dan was incredibly accomplished in this lifetime. I think first and foremost in his mind, it was being a father. He was an amazing father, and I will be forever grateful for him helping me bring our boys into this world. That was his pride and joy in this lifetime. Not only was he an amazing father, but he was an incredible friend. Those who called him friend really meant it on the deepest levels. I don't think he knew how to be a superficial friend. He was a good partner and a good son. So there's all of that. But also, when we look about those things that he did professionally in this world, he got his first degree in archaeology and pursued that, visiting Hawaii and just falling in love with the Southwest. And then he decided that he wanted to go more into the health arena. So he worked at the office of the medical investigator, which is basically the morgue. So that is always fascinating to me. And then he was a paramedic and decided to become a PA, a physician's assistant, and was amazing at that. He and I met at the oncology facility in New Mexico, and his patients just loved him. He was focused on radiology there. We worked in oncology and radiology, but he was focused on radiology and was just wonderful on his path. And he also served in the Air Guard, and he made it all the way to the rank of captain during his time in the Air Guard, which was really impressive, and he loved every part of that. And then he moved to Alaska, and in Alaska, he continued as a physician assistant and worked more in general medicine, but all of his patients really adored him. And when I was able to go out to Alaska and talk with everybody, after he had passed, they had nothing but amazing things to say. A lot of them saying, Dan saved my life, and meaning it genuinely. He cared enough that he helped so many people, and many people felt his genuine love and expertise in his practice. So he accomplished a lot of things, a lot of amazing things. But in the end, when I was working with him, I was doing Spinal Flow on him. And I believe in Spinal Flow, the music that you have on is meant for you when it comes on. And so the song that came on was These Hands by Jewel. And one of the lines specifically, and in the chorus, says, in the end, only kindness matters. And that was very striking to me because even though Dan had all of these amazing accomplishments, he was so worried about being perfect, just like all of us, so worried about being perfect, worried about making sure things went exactly to plan, making sure, everything he did was amazing. But really, at the end of it, at the very end, none of that matters. Your accomplishments, your degrees, your position description, how many podcasts you've done, how many, whatever it might be. In the end, only kindness matters. When you're dying, if you're lucky enough to be surrounded by those you love and helped out, you see that in the end, the only thing that matters is what you did out of love. And so that is really an important thing to consider. As we go forward in our lives, we get sidetracked with this thought, with the thought of you're not enough, you're not accomplishing enough, you're not achieving enough, you are not doing everything perfectly. You need to do this, 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 and this, be a parent, be a partner, be a practitioner, whatever it is, and you have to do it amazingly well. But the truth is, at the end of it, what is left is the kindness that you've experienced in your life and the love that you found along the way. So as we think about that, we get so caught up in all of this stuff because we want to be the best and we want to achieve everything that we feel like we're supposed to achieve here. And it's overwhelming. It overwhelms us to the point where we make ourselves sick. So we don't focus on our health and our wellness and our souls because we get so overwhelmed with trying to be perfect in every area and trying to achieve. And so it's difficult because it sets yourself up to not be as healthy and as well as you can be. And I guess the message here really is to slow down, enjoy your life, experience those things that bring you joy, love the people who are in your orbit, because that's where you find kindness. That's where you find happiness. That's where you find joy. Look at every day as a gift and really focus on loving yourself, acknowledging your soul, loving those people around you, and really knowing that there is so much beautiful stuff in front of you. And for those who are at the end of life, that's what you look back at. You look back at those things that you've achieved from a heart level, from a soul level, right? It's not how much money was in your bank account. It's not the degrees. It's not your position. It's not anything like that. It's the love that you've built. That's something that Dan was able to look at when he saw his boys' faces, when his friends all reached out to him. At the end of it, only kindness mattered. So I wish you all complete joy, complete love, and just a reminder that this life is short. So may you garner all the kindness you can. May you be a proponent of that kindness. So at the end, knowing that that's all that matters, taking the pressure off yourself for anything else. Thank you so much. This was a challenging Wavelength Wednesday, but there are many things that I learned being in Alaska and helping Dan. So thanks for listening. Have a wonderful day, and I'll chat with you later.